At this time, I'd like to call to order a meeting of the Durant City Council. If you would, please stand with me, and we'll have an invocation and a salute to our flag. Let's all pray together. Our God, our Father in heaven, we're so thankful, Lord, for the blessings that you've shown our city, the blessings that you shower on the families that work so hard to make Durant a better place to live. God, we just pray that we can continue to improve Durant. We can represent all the citizens well and make it a good experience for everyone who lives here and everyone who visits. Lord, tonight be with us and lead us through the decisions that we make. We pray for your courage and we pray for your wisdom in all the work that we do. And we just pray that we would build up this city and your kingdom here on this earth. All these things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. If you would please render a hand salute and face the flag with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and please be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller.
Here.
Councilmember Morrison.
Here.
Councilmember Shearer.
Here.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Here.
Mayor Tucker.
Here, we have a quorum, and if I can beg the indulgence of the council tonight, I would like to go off the script just a little bit, and I would like for us to jump down in the administration portion of the agenda tonight, down to item 4D. Our chief of police, his daughter's graduating from high school, and they're having an award ceremony right now. I'd like to get him to that if possible for her. And so if we could get him a handheld mic, and well, I'm wearing you out, Philip. And let's skip down to item 4D and talk about the possible approval for the construction of a firing range.
Yes, sir.
Chief Petty.
We all live? So this is a capital improvement money that was improved previously. We put out for a bid process, and there was nobody that submitted within that bid period on this project. After the fact, we had a couple that approached us with some proposals. One of them came underneath budget, and the other one was substantially over budget. So this is the proposal of accepting that contract that is under budget.
And the scope of the project didn't change from the time that you did not receive any bids until now, right? It's the same exact scope and same project.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. And the cost is $74,492, if I understand it?
Yes, sir.
Does the council have any questions? They're set to begin immediately and be done by the end of June, from what I understand, so this won't be a long, drawn-out process?
Yes, sir, that is the plan.
Comments or questions from the council? No comments or questions. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve 4D.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 4D. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller.
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison.
Yes.
Councilmember Shearer.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that item passes, and thank you, Chief Petty. And for the remainder of the meeting, we'll have to rely on Assistant Chief
Yes, sir.
Clark to
Very
answer
well.
all the questions, right?
Thank
He
you.
can do it. So, good deal. All right, now at this point, if I could get the council down front to join me for a couple of proclamations. All right, we're going to do a proclamation for scoliosis. Do we have someone here that wants to be in the presentation with us? Yeah? Come on, don't be shy. Come on up. What's your name? Carly? Okay, won't you stand right here, and I'm going to present this June 29th as Scoliosis Awareness Day. So whereas we strive to increase the public's awareness of scoliosis and help children and parents and adults and healthcare providers understand, recognize, and treat the complexities of spinal deformities such as scoliosis. And whereas scoliosis, an abnormal curvature of the spine with no known cause, affects 1 of every 40 children and 1 in 3 adults, since this is 2 to 3% of the total population, scoliosis is a condition that strikes without regard to gender, race, age, or economic status. And whereas the primary age onset for scoliosis is between 10 and 15, with females being 5 times more likely to progress to a curve magnitude that require treatment, and whereas screening programs allow for early detection and for treatment opportunities which may alleviate the worst effects of the condition. Now, therefore, I, Martin Tucker, the mayor, do hereby proclaim June the 29th as Scoliosis Awareness Day for the city of Durant to increase understanding and acceptance of Oklahomans with scoliosis. Thank you very much. You're very brave. Appreciate you. One more. Yeah, I met Jen. Sorry she got away from me. I'm surprised that she stuck with me that long. Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing, Connie?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Pleasure to meet you.
Next is a proclamation for National Foster Care Awareness Month. Whereas children and young adults in foster care often face significant challenges, including trauma, instability, homelessness, and barriers to education, employment, and health support systems, and whereas communities play a vital role in providing encouragement, safety, mentorship, resources, and opportunities that help vulnerable young youth transition successfully into adulthood. And whereas the J127 ministry located here in Durant, Oklahoma, serves young women ages 17 to 25 through transitional housing, life skills development, mentorship, advocacy, and trauma-informed support services. And whereas National Foster Care Awareness Month provides an opportunity to recognize the resilience of foster youth and the importance of community partnerships that offer hope and healing and long-term support. And whereas the city recognizes the importance of raising awareness regarding the ongoing needs of foster youth and those aging out of the foster care system, now, therefore, the City Council of the Durant, Oklahoma hereby proclaims the month of May 2026 as National Foster Care Awareness Month. And this is Ms. Connie Pettit. All right. Next, the order of business. The first on the agenda is the consent items. We have 2 items on the consent agenda tonight. One is the regular meeting minutes of April the 14th, 2026, and the other is approval of budget supplements, which is BA 26-9. Comments, questions, or concerns on those 2 documents, or do I need to remove one from the consent agenda for further discussion? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Most approved consent items.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu,
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that item passes. Item 2 we can forego since there were none removed from the consent agenda. Item 3 is information, and tonight A is the March 2026 financial report and the April sales tax report from Ms. Ann Chin. Good evening.
This is for the March, excuse me, March financial report. The first one is our general fund overview, and the total revenue are over the budget about 6.9%, and then that excluded the transfer and the fund balance. And if including the fund balance, the revenue are the under budget 5.7%, and then but the expenditure side is 8.6% under. So our year-to-date balance is positive balance, 713,366. This is for the general fund. And the capital improvement is just information that let you know the progress of our current projects. And then the next page is the DCUA fund. And the overview, the DCUA, the revenue are 4.8% below budget, while expenditure are 13.2% below budget. And that result the year-to-date positive balance of 748,847. So the next page is our sales tax breakdown. This is for the April's sales tax. And the total for the sales tax is $1,867,803.70. And the next page is the 10 years history of the 1% sales tax, and you can tell that compared to the prior year, the same months, we got about 8% increase. And over the year compared to the 12-month period is about 1.36% increase. And the next two pages is I use the budget compare the real sales and use tax revenue versus the budget. And you can tell that it's still we budget really conservative. So for the sales tax, it's over about 150,000, and for the use tax, it's about over $700,000. Any questions?
Questions on the reports from Ms. Chin? Any questions or comments?
Yeah, we budget really conservative,
Yes.
especially the use tax, because it's kind of like hard to project it. Yeah.
Hard to predict, for certain.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ann. One thing I failed to mention earlier, the city manager's not here tonight. She's away doing, she's on a work trip in Georgia working for the insurance group that insures most of the cities in Oklahoma. So she serves on their board, and she's away doing that. The other thing, when we're talking about financials, we do have the budget, the draft budget for next year. We did have a workshop last night where we reviewed that with city staff, including the city manager. That's not on the agenda tonight. That'll either be on the agenda for next month's regular session, or we'll have a special session if necessary when we get ready to have the budget in form to approve. So I just wanted to mention that to everyone. Okay, next on the agenda is now we're in the administration part of the agenda. Item 4A is to consider approval of the annual financial statement and independent auditor's report and single audit for the fiscal year 24-25. And thank you for producing these reports for us as well.
Chris Ham is our auditor, and then today he's answered any question that you have.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
I am Chris Heim with HBC CPAs. I'd like to thank the council for having me. I'd also like to acknowledge Ann Chin. We request a lot of information, and we do a lot of cities, and she is probably one of the easier people to work with. She responds within 24 hours, and she just very, very efficient in helping us, so I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to start off on page 5, which is our auditor's report. So I'll go over the 3. Do we have copies? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go over the 3 reports we issue. I'm also going to just hit a couple things within the financial statements. And the independent auditor's report, just going over the first 2 paragraphs here. The first paragraph states that we have audited the financial statement, the accompanying financial statements. And then the second paragraph starts, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects. So that is a clean opinion,
Right.
and that's the best opinion that we can offer as auditors. So what exactly does that paragraph mean? It means that anything that is subsequent to the report can be relied upon by the council, outside entities as well. So that is our opinion. So from now, I'm going to go to page 12 and just hit some financial highlights within the financial statements, and then discuss our other 2 reports here in a moment. But on page 12, this is called the management discussion analysis, and is taking the information from the financial statements and putting it in a comparative, more condensed format for the readers of the financial statements. So I'm just going to hit 3 items here. Total assets, I know it's hard to see, but total assets, total liabilities, and then total net position. And then we have a comparative between 25 and 24. So within the total primary government, we have the governmental activities here, the business type activities, and then the total on the far right. Your total assets increased by 5% to 186 million, increase of 5% over the 2024 column there. Looking at total liabilities, they increased as well to $46 million, up from $43 million. Now, that's a little misleading because your debt actually went down. The thing that went up was the net pension liability. So that's a whole nother long discussion, but essentially the net pension liability for police and fire, on GASB financial statements, you have to record the obligation on your financial statements. However, that is the obligation of the state, but with GASB financial statements, your employees have to be reported on the financial statements. So that was the increase when you're looking at total liabilities there. The good news, looking at the total net position at the bottom of this schedule, each government activities, business type activities in the total government all increased by 5%. So total net position is assets less your liabilities, and that increased by 5%. Also good news, which we'll discuss here more in a second, is your unrestricted net position, which is, you can think of as financial flexibility for the city. All those increased by 11%. So, and we'll discuss maybe some percentages here in a second when we're comparing to, what those maybe should look like. But going to the next page, page 13, this is essentially the profit and loss of the city here. And the only thing I'm going to touch on is we have the profit and loss, and again, a comparative schedule for government and business type activities. You can see at the very bottom of this schedule the numbers I'm going to hit on, and that's the net profit, essentially, is increase in net position. You'll see in the governmental activities, we're about 4.5 million. Business type activities, 2.7 million. And then the total primary government. So the government, altogether, about a 7.2 million increase in net position, June 30, 2025. So Great news there. The significant fluctuations I won't go over, but they are described here in the commentary below that schedule. If you do have any questions of why a line item increased or decreased, but great news there of the increase in net position. So I'm going to go to page 23 after that, and specifically look at your general fund. So I touched a little bit on your unrestricted, page 23. Sorry about that. So I touched a little bit on the unrestricted net position on the general fund balance sheet here. I'm going to look at the bottom of the schedule here, right there where it says unassigned. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I don't think that's page 23. Page 23 at the bottom on the page numbers, sorry.
Not the deck, yeah, right. Yeah, 3 more pages down.
Sorry, I'll get my glasses on so I can.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the fund balance there in the general fund column on that far left one, it's $12.2 million. So this is essentially money that is available for the city that's not legally restricted, not committed for any specific purpose. So we're at $12.2 million. You can consider that an emergency fund for the general fund if you want to think of it that way. But when we're looking at that, Crawford and Associates and other guidance recommend 10 to 30% of your expenses or revenues. The City of Durant is setting at around over 60% of revenues and expenses when you compare this unassigned fund balance to either the revenues or expenses. So 10 to 30% is the recommended percentage. For the general fund, you guys are sitting at over 60%. So just a great position for the city to be in the general fund. From there, I'm going to go to page 28. Just got a couple more schedules to look at and then go over our reports. But similar, I'm going to look at, yes, right here, just the bottom of that. Again, the unrestricted, just taking a snapshot in time of where your balance sheet was on June 30, 2025. Unrestricted net position in the utility authority fund, $12.5 million there, unrestricted. Again, comparing that to your utility authority expenses, you're at around 120%. Revenues, if you compare it to revenues, you're close to 90%. The percentage for this is usually 30 to 50% that you would want to be in because you have more debt and things like that you need to cover. So, but again, 30 to 50% maybe be the recommendation. You guys are far exceed that. So healthy net position there in the utility authority. So from there, I'm going to jump all the way to page 50 and discuss a couple things and then go over our reports after that. So page 50. Yep, that's it there. Okay. So I'm going to go a little down there. I just wanted to bring this up because you will see things in the financials saying restated net position. So usually when there's a restatement of your beginning balances, it either means there was an error in the previous year or there is an implementation of a new accounting principle. There was a new implementation of a new accounting principle, and it was GASB 101. So in past years, and this is related to accrued comp. So in past years, you would accrue vacation, holiday, and essentially vacation and holiday. The new standard said that we need to accrue sick leave as well. So This implementation of the GASB Standard 101 is for essentially adding the sick leave to the financial statements and accruing that as a liability. So when you do see something that says restated on the financial statements, I just wanted to bring that up because sometimes that's an error, but this is for a new accounting principle. So from there, I'm going to jump to 87, which is our second report that we issue. Just very briefly, this is what we call a byproduct of what we do. And it is a report on internal control and compliance. So our objective is to get comfortable with the numbers in the financial statements. And that is our primary goal. However, as we're pulling invoices and doing our procedures, we obviously look at your internal controls. Are you in compliance with your debt and things of that nature? If we find anything that needs to be reported on your internal controls or compliance, it gets reported on this report. And the bottom two paragraphs on this will be where it will report the findings that we would have. The good news is we do not have findings. In the second to last paragraph, it says that we did not identify any deficiencies during our audit, and the last sentence in this report says that we have no instances of non-compliance. So good news there as well. And then the last report that I will go over is on 2 pages from there, page 89. So you received and expended over $750,000 in federal funds, a part of the ARPA funds that you received. If you receive and expend over $750,000, you have to get what's called a single audit or uniform guidance audit. So we then have to audit the federal funds. This is a lot different from a financial statement audit where we're trying to get comfortable with the numbers and the balances. This, we are strictly just auditing compliance, and it's, did you check the boxes that you're supposed to check when you're spending the funds? And the second paragraph in this report states, in our opinion, essentially, in our opinion, City of Durant, Oklahoma complied in all material respects with the types of compliance. So again, that's a clean report for your single audit. So 3 reports. I know I was long-winded there. 3 reports, all clean reports for the City of Durant. And I thought it was good to point out the financial position and the health of the city as well, that where you were at June 30, 25. So from there, I'll open it up to questions that you might have.
Questions on the financial statements and audit reports?
I think my question might just be like some general stuff, because I'm not going to
Yeah.
begin to act like I understand exactly everything that went into this report.
Right.
Obviously, we're relying on you. Was this common? That's like you said, like, oh, like we did pretty well. Does everyone usually have a clean report, or is that, how often do you have not a clean report?
So it's uncommon for us to not have a clean report. However, I would say it's fairly common, especially for maybe smaller cities on that second report that we had, to have findings and issues of non-compliance. So I would say less than half, but I think it would be more common than you would think for the compliance and internal controls.
So it's a well-earned gold star, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
And Chris, you might talk about some cities you make recommendations. They're not findings on the audit report, but you'll make recommendations to the staff on how to improve or how to get better or whatever. And,
right.
And you're not even presenting any recommendations to our staff at this point.
No. I was talking to Ann Chin, and it was, it's just general things to be reminded of, make sure your internal controls are strong and that we're not bypassing those and things. Internal controls can keep everything together, obviously, and those are strong within the city. And she's commented that the department heads, really where we see a lot of issues on other cities is the department heads might bypass some things.
Right.
And then the county is trying to, wrangle them in. And, Ann Chin's just had great things to say about the leadership within the heads there. So.
Very good. Other questions, comments? None? Hearing none, I'll make a motion that we approve the annual financial statement and the independent auditor's report and the single audit report for last year, for fiscal year 24 and 25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial reports. This is item 4A. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that motion passes. And
Thank you, guys.
thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Next is item 4B, which is to consider the removal of Cynthia Price as signer on all City of Durant financial institutions based on her impending retirement. I have to throw that in there, otherwise it sounds punitive somehow. Any questions, comments on that item? Pretty straightforward.
Motion to approve 4B1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 4B1 related to Cynthia Price. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that item passes. Next, to go along with that, we are to consider Nacy Story as a new signer for all City of Durant financial institutions, which is Cynthia's replacement. Comments or questions on Nacy? Do I hear a motion then?
Motion to approve 4B. Oh, I'm sorry, 4B2.
Right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 4B2. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that item passes. Next is item 4C, and this is Assistant Chief Clark's time to shine, if you have questions for him. This is to consider approval of an interlocal agreement for detention services between Bryan County and the City of Durant, which is C 2026-11.
Yes.
Assistant Chief.
So this is just a jail contract renewal with with Bryan County. I believe the city attorney has reviewed this and found no issues with it. No major changes other than the price of incarceration is going to remain the same. And this will automatically renew each year, as before we'd have to renew it year by year. So this one will automatically renew.
Comments or questions on the detention interlocal contract?
Each year when it renews, will there be a price change?
It's tied to the
Tied to the-
CPI in the
Okay.
contract. It's tied to the Consumer Price Index.
Okay.
Up to 5%. It's kind of capped at 5. Is that right? Or y'all
Um,
talk about it if it gets to 5?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the CPI on that, but I think that's common language
Right.
in those.
So basically to follow inflation, the price will go up with inflation basically.
Okay.
Capped at 5% a year, which is, at least it's capped. Other questions or comments?
I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. It's got a termination agreement unless within 30 days.
Right.
I mean, it seems reasonable. It seems pretty straightforward.
Probably pretty helpful to have them incarcerated here in our town as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yes,
think.
very.
There's a benefit to that. Any other comments or questions?
Motion to approve 4C.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the interlocal agreement for detention services, which is item 4C. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that item passes. 4D we've already done for the chief. Now we're down to item 4E, which is consideration and possible approval for a rezone of property located at Cemetery and Country Club Road in Durant, with a long legal description I'm not going to read, and which is ordinance O 2026-4, section 1. Mr. Cottrell.
Good evening, everyone. This was a rezone request from a property owner that is wanting to do I think about 10 duplex units, so it'd be 20 units total in 10 different dwelling units. The current zoning out there is A1 with the future land use of industrial. Pretty sure we're all familiar with that area on past applications. It went before Planning Commission last week, and the request was found not to align with the future land use. A motion was made to deny the rezone request. The motion passed with a vote of 3 yeses and 1 abstain.
Who abstained?
It was Shane, not on the commission. It's because he did work for
Okay.
the applicant,
I'm
so he
just
abstained
curious.
from the vote, if I understood it correctly.
Correct.
Is Mr. Wright here? Does he wish to make a comment?
I don't
No?
believe that I've seen him this evening.
Are there others who wish to make a comment? This one seems pretty straightforward.
I make a motion to deny.
Second.
We have a motion, and that, by the way, that's in compliance with planning and zoning's outcome as well. We have a motion and a second to deny, which is 4E. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison,
Yes.
Councilmember Shear,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu.
Yes.
Mayor Tucker.
Yes, that motion is denied. Anything else, Mr. Cottrell?
That is it.
That's it for tonight? What an easy night for you.
Quick for y'all.
All right, love it. At this time, I want to pause the city council meeting, and I want to call to order a meeting of the Durant Airport Authority. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Morrison,
Here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Here.
Chairman Tucker.
Here we have a quorum. The only item on the agenda for tonight is to consider approval of regular meeting minutes from April the 14th. And as you recall, during that meeting, we approved some work to be done out at the airport, airport improvements and grants and awards from the Oklahoma Aerospace and Aeronautics. Just to help you remember. Any comments or questions on the minutes from that meeting? There are none. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve consent items.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent items for the Airport Authority. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Morrison,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes.
Chairman Tucker.
Yes, that item passes. There are no other items to come before the Airport Authority tonight. I would make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the Airport Authority meeting for tonight. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Morrison,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes.
Chairman Tucker.
Yes, we stand adjourned. At this time, I'd like to call to order a meeting of the Durant City Utilities Authority. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Morrison,
Here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Here.
Chairman Tucker.
Here, we have a quorum. First order of business is the consent agenda items, which is to consider approval of regular meeting minutes of April the 14th. It's the only items on the consent agenda. Do we need to pull that item off for further discussion? Or do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve consent items.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the items on the consent agenda. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Morrison,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes.
Chairman Tucker.
Yes, that item passes. Next, under administration is item 4A. Consider reallocation of capital improvement funds for the purchase of a new 3/4 ton pickup in the amount of $61,361. Mr. Hightower.
Yes, sir. Last fall, our 3/4 ton pickup at the water treatment plant was totaled in a wreck. And, we had some funds left over from when we purchased our generator, and we would like to use those to purchase another 3/4 ton pickup. We use this pickup to pull our tractor to the various places around town that they have to mow with it. The only other thing they have is a 1/2-ton Chevrolet pickup, and that 20-foot trailer and that tractor pushes it everywhere. It's not real safe to pull. So we're asking to reallocate some of the money so we can use it to buy a new truck.
So is this at a state price, or did y'all go out for
Yes,
bids? or
this is state
price?
contract,
Okay.
Joe Cooper Chevrolet,
Okay.
where we buy most of our vehicles. So they're all
Gotcha.
on state contracts.
Gotcha.
This will have all the safety lights, everything.
Be ready to
on
go.
it. Yes, sir.
Questions or comments for Mr. Hightower, Director Hightower, on the pickup? Do I hear a motion then?
Motion to approve 4A.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item 4A, the purchase of a new pickup. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Trustee Morrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shear?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu?
Yes.
Chairman Tucker?
Yes,
Thank
that
you.
item passes. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. There are no other items on the Utilities Authority agenda for tonight. I move for adjournment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the Durant City Utilities Authority meeting for tonight. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Trustee Morrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shear?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu?
Yes.
Chairman Tucker?
Yes, and we stand adjourned. Now back to the City Council meeting. We're down to item number 5, new business. Is there any new business to come before the City Council tonight? Hearing none, I'll move for adjournment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the City Council meeting. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Miller?
Yes.
Councilmember Morrison?
Yes.
Councilmember Shear?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Simulescu?
Yes.
Mayor Tucker?
Yes, we stand adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming.